Does it say we're live?
It says you're live.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Airguns. We are doing things differently, and this is potentially a different way we're going to be doing it going forward. I've got my wife in here. I've been wanting this configuration, this setup, this potential for over a year, and it's not her fault. I'm just saying up front, it's not her fault. We have just been so busy, and I've had bigger fish to fry that this just wasn't something we could get to. But now we're working on getting this studio finished up where we can actually do this. Honey, hit camera 2, would you?
You know what we didn't have, Rick?
What didn't we have?
We didn't embed this into the website.
No, that's
so
fine. We'll deal with that later.
Okay.
That's good, and that's going to be on Vimeo. Anyway,
Number 2?
Go ahead and hit 2. We've got a nice downward camera angle that we can go from. Go ahead and go camera 3. And now we can actually have my computer and then put me in picture-in-picture, hun. Picture-in-picture 1, and then now we've got, look at that. So we have got, I don't know where I'm at on the blue line. She's there it is. She's turning things off, turning things on, making things work. But we can actually do a lot of cool stuff in the studio now, including having guests. We'll be able to pull people up with Skype like we have been. Angie's busy tonight. She's not going to join us tonight. But I do have my wife in here, so she's going to be monitoring the chat. So that's awesome. She's got a smirk on her face. I do not know why. Why are you smirking, Sue?
Because if anyone's expecting any kind of insightful information about air guns from me,
you're full of insightful stuff.
Not going to get it.
You're full of stuff.
Yeah.
Something. Anyway, one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is Airgun Expo. Before we get to that, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors. If you guys want to check out who they are, that's sponsors for Gateway to Airguns, AirgunWeb, Airgun Expo. We have websites for all of that. Sue, would you pop up over to my computer, please? Let's take a quick jaunt here. This is the Airgun Expo website. If you guys want to check it out, it's theairgunexpo.com. And here you can see all of the sponsors that are presenting at the show. I've actually got a list. You can't see me. I'm just going to wiggle the paper hot off the presses. A list of just some of the guns, well, it's most of the guns and products we're going to be talking about. But you guys, if you want to see what these companies bring to the table, you can click their logo. You can go to their virtual showroom floor and actually get more data. And the cool thing about this, you actually scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's a contact form. If you want to reach out to them directly, you can do so through this contact form. And here's the cool thing. We don't take these pages down. So we actually have past expos. If you want to see shows from 21, 22, we skipped 23, you can actually go see all of the folks that presented at these different shows. So we had a lot of fun in all of these, and we're expecting to have a lot of fun this time around as well. So definitely check it out, theairgunexpo.com. Now, we're going to be broadcasting live starting the 27th, and in that, we are going to have right here on our homepage where you have this sort of scrolling graphic with all the different companies, you're going to be able, that's where we're going to embed I don't know if you have me as a picture-in-picture, maybe would be nice.
Where do you want it?
I don't know. There you go. So they can see I'm doing, I was wiggling this in the paper I was wiggling. We're going to have this down right where the logo is. You'll be able to watch here. You can also watch it on AirgunWeb and also on gatewaytoairguns.com. We're going to have that embedded right here. So all of that is I'm very excited about this and can't wait to talk to you guys about what we have going on. We do have an interesting show, and what I just realized is normally I have my big computer, and you can switch back to me now. Normally I have my big computer which has like all my show notes, and I don't have those, but can you throw me a pen or a pencil?
Is this a pen?
That's a pen, just toss it. Oh goodness. All right, she really winged it at me. What was she trying to say? So
just doing what I was told.
Yeah. So the couple things I want to talk about tonight, one is going to be the Niksan. I shot that recently and got some great results. We hadn't actually done anything at the bench like for accuracy. We've just been shot counting and all that kind of other stuff. So I have some data on that. And also the Cometa. And I know there's some folks have been saying, really wanting to see the review on the Cometa. we didn't do a full review. We're not there yet, but I did put a scope on it. I did kind of figure that out and talk about that a little bit, and did some shooting. It shot very well, just so you know. My wife actually shot it. That was that brake barrel, hun. What'd you think of it?
Oh, I like that. The woods was beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty to look at, and it was gentle to shoot. It's actually got, it's funny because I've been shooting PCPs all day, and then I picked that up, and it actually had a recoil. I've been shooting light PCPs, but it actually had a bit of a thump to it. So I really liked the gun a lot, and it shot very well for me, not having really any experience with it, and we were shooting very good groups at 30 yards and 177 with wind. So like winner on that one. So we're talking about the Cometa a little bit. I have some photos to show you. And then we'll talk about also McCavity. And I didn't do any Q&A today, so I meant to pick up some stuff, some Q&A stuff. Maybe what I'll do is I'll pull up the thing and just kind of go through some comments that are there, and maybe there'll be a couple. We'll just actually pick them right out of the list. Ooh, that's scary, right? Well, maybe we'll give that a shot.
We have a request that you slow down when you're showing them this stuff on the websites.
Okay.
You move too fast.
I move too fast. I will slow down. Would you guys like to see it again? Let me show you again. How's that? Just switch me back over soon. The other thing I'll do really quickly.
No, really quickly.
I'll do really slowly. Yeah, I'm just going to have to do this here. And then we're going to click this. Let's see. Let's go to my channel. It's better to look at than MMA fighters. And we'll go to notifications. So we have that there. And we can maybe pick a couple of those to respond to, because that'll be fun. All right, so I'll try to remember to do that next time. So let's go back to the websites. I apologize for it quickly. Let me take a breath. Could it be the 16 cups of coffee and the 14 glasses of like sweet tea and lemonade? Could that be causing the problem? I don't know, maybe. Could it be the lack of sleep? And no, it's none of that. It's just I have a tendency to talk too fast. Please let me know if we have other people with questions or comments. So that's your job, is to watch the chat there, sweetheart. Okay, so back to the websites again. First of all, this is a trial that we're doing tonight. Sure, we're using the Let's Talk Airguns podcast as a way to do it, but this is sort of working out some of the technical difficulties that we'll be doing during the show. So one of the things that I was sharing with some sponsors today, the whole process is going to be, the first thing we'll do is, thanks, hon. The first thing we're going to do is do a YouTube video in the morning. So that is going to launch the day. We'll have our schedule, the times. We're going to give websites you guys can watch it. So if anybody sees that like in the morning, they'll know they can go to the website and get that. We don't have the schedule yet, but we will have the schedule right here on the Airgun Expo. So under this 2024 or AE24 virtual show floor, there's the schedule. I'm finishing that up. That's what I was working on today. And we've got a lot of products from a lot of companies that we're going to be focusing on. I will go through that list here shortly.
There is a schedule there currently, but it's an old one.
Okay.
So it's just an example of what it would look like.
Right.
It
So-
is not, and it says it's
Yeah,
an
exactly.
example.
Okay, so yeah, so we'll start every morning with like an announcement of what we're doing, and then you'll be able to watch the live shows or the live presentations according to the schedule, weather permitting, on Airgun Expo, AirgunWeb, and gateway-to-airguns.com. So all of these will have the embedded video right here where you guys can join in. The other thing you'll be able to do is, if you don't have to sign up, but if you sign in on that video, you'll see it when it goes live. And we're going to be doing some testing the rest of the week where you guys can try it. When you sign in, you can actually, there's a chat, you can kind of interact. It doesn't matter what site you're on, it's all tied together. So we're excited to see that work. We tried to do that last year, and we were using Vimeo, and it was an epic fail. Their stuff just failed badly. As a backup, we're also going to be doing live stream over on Facebook. And I did a test video today. It was quite fun here in the studio right there. If you guys want to see it, thank you for all those people that have watched it. But that little video was a lot of fun. And we're going to be running that camera as a secondary thing, just kind of getting a wide view of what's going on. So we'll have The main video going out will also have a Facebook secondary video. So all of this, we hope, works well. Some of the stuff we're going to be doing absolutely for the first time. So tomorrow we'll be down at the range testing some of this stuff out. So let's get to, let's just switch back to the main view, hon. Thank you.
Can I clarify something?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Facebook video is going to be streaming through
AirgunWeb.
facebook.com/AirgunWeb.
Yeah, it's Airgun Reviews, I think it is. But the AirgunWeb Facebook page.
Okay. I just want to know what I'm posting in there.
Yeah. And yeah, she's learning some of this just as right as we go along. The other thing we're going to be doing is every day when we publish that, when we do that YouTube video in the beginning, that YouTube live kind of announcing everything, we will have links in that where people can go and watch everything. So we should have everything lined up pretty well, and hopefully that will be a good way for people to make connection with the stuff. Now, if you miss the live, not to worry, because we're going to take all of the live shows, they will be edited, and they will be republished on AirgunWeb after the event. What's that?
There was a loud click. I don't know if you hit your mic or something.
I might have bumped the table or something. Okay, so let's talk about what's going to be at the show. Actually, what do you guys want to do first? You want to talk about some of these guns, and then let's do this. We'll talk about a gun, talk about the show, talk about the gun, talk about the show. Oh, let's do that. Let's jump in here. So one of the guns, can you switch me back over to the website for me, hon? And then put me down in the corner there. So I've got some photos here. We shot...
Slowly.
We shot the Niksan 22. Now, this was sent over to us by Donnie FL. Thank you, guys. It was really kind of them to send that over. So these are just some examples we were doing. I mean, look at here it is. The 18.3s shot really well. This was shot, I believe, at 30 yards. We had a little bit of wind. This video is actually dropping this weekend. So you're going to be able to see like the whole video. This video is coming out. But what was interesting about this gun, and one of the reasons I like it, first of all, it was super fun to shoot. It is heavy, but it's that way. It's a Turkish gun, and like a lot of the Turkish guns, they're chunky monkeys and they're heavy. So this is a bit heavy. It's got two massive cylinders on it, so I think it's, I would say like 800 plus cc's of air on the doggone thing, which is awesome. So you get a ton of shots. Now, it's not regulated. So that was something that I wanted to just chat about, because I don't know if I have, you can hear my yellow phone there, Sue? I don't know if I have the records here, but I did do Crony on this. Let me see if it was on this, it was on this phone or a different phone.
See, if I had control over those pictures while you're doing that, I could be scrolling through the pictures for you.
Yeah, you could be doing that. We'll work out. Actually, when we switch over to the next setup, I've got a card coming for the computer. Right now we're using a mixer, and all of the cameras are going to the mixer, including my computer. We're going to switch that up, and that's going to be going everything directly to the computer to have more control. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I guess we'll find out. Yes. I must have been on this phone. Let me just see. I just wanted to look up the performance results, because even though it was unregulated, because the cylinders are so large, and we found the sweet spot in the shot curve, we got great shot count, as well as, like, we got a lot of shots, as well as very good consistency. So I just wanted to pull it up if I had it here handy. If not, well, we'll skip it. Let's see, I have a lot. Oh, here it is. When was it? I think it was this one. I think it was this one. Yeah, okay, so the high was, I don't know if it was this one or not. Oh, forgive me. I'm trying to look at the all save strings. Will it show me? Oh, here it is, May. Let's see here.
Sean's got some comments about how we should do the camera. I'm not sure I understand. So, Sean, if you'd like to elaborate, please do. I will try and figure it out.
Yes.
I'm happy to try anything. Well, almost anything.
All save streams. Yeah, I don't have them handy, so I apologize on that. I'm looking at these. I did a bunch of test profiles and I didn't keep the data, so I apologize. What I remember of the shooting session is that we got a ton of shots and it worked out pretty well, even though it's not a regulated gun. So I was pretty pleased with it. I really like the action. I like the trigger. It's a fun gun to shoot. Yeah, and I had a ball shooting it. So that video is coming out. What's that?
Slow down.
Slow down. Oh, we could do this. Hold on. We can do this, and we could do like that. All right, so I believed it liked 15 grain pellets better. So that's a hell of a nice group. Pretty good. Didn't like those 15s. Those were okay. Certainly minted a squirrel head. And then this one, we can't see because my picture's in the way. There it is. There. Oh, what are you doing, Sue? There it is. That's not bad.
I wasn't doing anything.
Well. What do you mean you weren't doing anything? Surely you were doing something.
That was all you.
Okay, 18s.
Nice, try and blame me.
That did very well. The JTS dead centers did very well. I mean, when you can just sit down with a gun, I don't have a ton of time with it. It's not an expensive gun. It's not like super, super cheap, but it's certainly not, it's nowhere near $1,000, so it's way below that. Just a really fun gun to shoot. And if you're not concerned about having a standard deviation of less than 2, and you know how to work an unregulated gun, it's a great air gun. I really enjoyed shooting it. So it did not like H&N pellets at all. And other than the one flyer, it didn't do bad with the slugs either. Okay, so there we are. That's the Niksan Escalade.
Slow down.
I'm going slow.
You've got to let people actually see
enjoy it. I'm working on it. I'm really trying here. I'm not obviously failing.
I mean, you've seen it. You've shot it. They haven't. So you want them to get the enjoyment out of it.
It's a super nice gun. So they'll be able to see it this Saturday, I think, is the release date.
Are you going to swing it across the screen quickly so they can see it?
No. Okay, let's look at, let's get back to our list here. We'll talk about the Cometa next. But before we do that, let's talk about some of the presenters that we have and the products they're going to be showing. So over here, you can, again, if you go to the website, you can go to any of these logos, right? So ATN has sent over, they've sent over their Excite 5 3 to 15 and the Excite 5 4 to 20. I don't know. Okay, they've got some other products here on their page. But the Excite 5 is like their new thing. That's the newest, bestest ATN they got. There's a whole new software, the way the software management works. The scope is a new format. I don't know if it's lighter. It's certainly streamlined. I mean, the lines on it are nicer. It's not as bulky feeling. So it looks really nice. I'm excited to show you guys this primarily because we have HDMI out. So in times past at the Expo, we used a camera connected to a spotting scope to try and get the target without, because how far can you run an HDMI cable, right? It's about 50 feet, maybe a little longer if you're in a pinch. But with this, we don't have to. We can come out of the scope directly into the board. You guys can see it. There's a big picture of that. So that we're going to be hopefully doing some of that with the ATNs. So I'm excited about that. The next thing I'll jump over to, let me go back to our show floor here. Let me just go to the show floor. So Evanix doesn't click on.
If you go to the home page, those rotating banners also do click. I apologize. I'll fix that tomorrow.
Okay, so I'll go to the home page.
Or tonight when I go home.
I will go to the home page because the other page isn't working yet. It's all right. Much grace extended, given all the work she's done. Because this is all, by the way, this is all Sue's work here. All this web design, all this stuff that you guys are seeing. Yeah. She's done, I don't know how many hours, a lot of hours to pull this together. It's been a lot of work. So thank you, honey, for all your work here.
It's part of the job of the wife.
What we have, obviously the new Viper 30 is a big deal for Evanix. It's a 30 cal semi-automatic. We've already released a video on it. It doesn't get a ton of shots. It gets 10 shots per fill, but they're pushing 30 plus foot-pounds. So, well, five out of the 10 are over 30, and the other 5 are very close to it. It's really fun to shoot. The open sights are not adjustable. They're perfectly functional if you're just looking to hit a steel pig at 10 yards or something. If you want to be more accurate, then you're going to want to mount an optic. We've got the Hawk reflex sight. We'll talk about some of the stuff Hawk is sending because they've got a bunch of cool stuff they're sending out. I don't think we've done their page yet because we're still waiting to find out.
We're waiting content.
Okay. So we'll get to that in a minute. Well, actually, let me just tell you. So I'll put a pause on Evanex for a moment. We have, I've requested from Hawk scopes that are suitable for brake barrels because I've got a lot of like the Sidewinders and the Frontiers and the Endurance line, which are all higher end, heavier optics, expensive optics, like the Frontier 34 is $1,200. So probably not going to drop that on my brake barrel. First of all, it's way too heavy. So I asked for some Vantage scopes and Air Max scopes. Those are the lighter, more affordable. The key with going on a brake barrel is it has to have an etched glass reticle, or you're probably going to break the reticle. So I've requested, and they've said they're going to ship it. They only have a few days to get it stuff here. We have a whole week though, so even if it comes in early next week, we'll still be able to get some of that stuff in. But I've got the Air Max and the Vantage. Both of those are more airgun budget-oriented scopes. We've got those coming in, so I'm excited about that. We also have Red Dot, Reflex. I talked to them just yesterday. They've got some binoculars with built-in rangefinders. I'm supposed to have those for the show. Super excited about all of that stuff. And we're going to do like a studio segment to kind of go through all of that gear and talk about it. So we'll have a dedicated segment just for Hawk, kind of going over all of that stuff. Okay, back to Evanex here. So we've got the Viper, and it's available in 22, 25, and 30. We have the 22, 25, and 30. We're going to be doing several segments with Evanex gear, and it's really one to help promote Evanex as a brand, two to help promote New England Airgun as a vendor. Now you can buy Evanex products that I'm aware of from a couple different places here in the U.S. One is New England Airgun, and the other is Airgun Pro Shop. So those are the two places. If you're interested in Evanex gear, I'd reach out to either one of those. Now, New England Airgun is a sponsor of Airgun Expo 24, so most of my references will be supporting those guys. Thank you, John, for your help and support. We're going to get down to what they've sent beyond the Evanex stuff, and it's very cool. Okay, so we'll get to that here in a minute. The other things I've got with Evanex I'm probably going to talk about. So we've got the Viper 30. I've got the Viper 25 set up as a micro carbine. I'm probably going to see if I can get my daughter, Naomi. If you can go back on my channel way back, many years, you'll see her as like a 5-year-old shooting the Gammo, I don't know, a little Gammo brake barrel, and having a ball with Dad at the range doing her own little review. It's very cute. It's quite adorable, actually. I don't know where that little kid went to, but yeah, she's 17 now, and so hopefully she'll be with me, and we'll shoot the Viper 25, which she has pretty much claimed as her gun. I believe I have an Ibex 35. I'm going to try and find that, and I know I have an Ibex 50. I can put my hands on that one. So I'll probably shoot the Ibex 50 cal. I have a Cloud Ultra 30, an Evanex Sniper 30K 30 cal, and then the Maximo and 45. Whether we get to all of those products, I'm not sure, but they're a great sort of representation of the different things that Evanex has as a brand. Many of them you guys can pick up right at New England Airgun, so that's kind of cool. I'll do one more kind of look at gear, and then we'll switch over. We'll talk about the Cometa, because I do want to talk to you guys about that. What do we got, hon?
Cruder would like to know how
Speak up, please. I can't hear you over all the noise in the room.
Oh, sorry. Cruder would like to know how your Viva air compressor is holding up. He's thinking of getting one.
Okay, so it's right over here. Let me just grab it.
Sorry, an ad just came on in the middle of the thing.
That's fine.
So. Oh, and John was also commenting about he looked for directions on the Airgun Expo site.
Yep.
And he said, assuming that the 100-yard long berm is the location, the site comes up on Google Maps. I said,
does.
yes, it does.
Yep.
And if you're interested in joining us for the Airgun Expo 2024, you are invited to join us. Please come out.
Come on out.
Just go to the airgunexpo.com and go to the Contact Us page, I believe, or maybe it's on the home page.
It's on the event location right here.
Okay, it's on the event location page. And their directions, and I think their maps and pictures there too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, please print the PDF before you come out.
Yes. It's actually super easy to get here.
And call us ahead of time to let us know you're coming.
Yeah. Don't follow your GPS. I wish Travis was supposed to be here, but he's not going to make it. He actually injured his foot. So severely injured his foot, poor guy. So he's not going to be able to make it. We are supposed to have a representative from JTS here for the entire show. So I'm excited about that because I know, at some point, you guys don't want to be looking at this ugly mug for an entire week, like all week, but you're going to have to look at it quite a bit. Some of the folks we were hoping to have scheduling conflicts or the holidays or whatever, but hopefully we'll have a JTS representative here for the entire week. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's someone who doesn't have a lot of Airgun experience, which I love having those guys around to shoot stuff because it's all fresh, it's all new, they have no preconceptions, it's really awesome. So I'm hoping that all that works out. We'll go ahead and go back. On the Vever, this is my compressor I use in here. Do I have like 1,000 hours on it? No. I fill guns only, and it's been fine. I would never use one of these to try and fill a bottle. And even, let's say you have like a Texan or even better yet, say you have a hammer and you're pushing it to 4,500 every single time, and for like long run times, I don't know when the expiration date on its usability is going to run out. I've had it for a while. I use it anytime I'm doing work in here. I use this compressor, and it's working fine. So for me, it's been great. Is it my everyday, all the time, everyday compressor? It is not. I have several compressors that I kind of cycle through. This is one. I have a JTS in my shop. I have a Hill compressor in my shop. I have the GK Pumps one with the water cooling system. I have one of those. I actually use that almost exclusively to fill my pony bottles just because that's my test for that one. It's sub $600. I think now with the coupon on Amazon, you might get the thing for like it's $530. So $530, you have a compressor that technically, according to their manual, will do 5,800. I tried filling a gun to 5,000. It's supposed to take 5,000 and pop the relief valve. Fortunately, I had some spare discs, so got it back up and running. But that's been really handy to just set my bottle on it and go back to shooting. Takes 10, 15 minutes for it to fill up. And then I've got a pony bottle ready to go to fill my guns in between shooting sessions. That's awesome. So that's been a great compressor. As far as the Vever though, it's held up for me. Do I like hammer it, use it every single day? No. But I don't know what to say about that. So just a disclaimer, it's not my everyday compressor, but when I've gone to use it, it's always worked and worked fine. Any other questions?
How about an original gauntlet bottle?
Oh, that should be fine because the original gauntlet bottle is smaller and it's 3,000 PSI. That's not even working it hard. It's really when you take something like that, and let me just, I'll go off on a little bit, detour for a minute. Put me full screen, would you, babe?
Yes.
All right, so go on a little detour. So you've got a bottle, and this really was like when you were looking at the tanks or even your air gun, right? We have air guns that are needing 4,000 plus PSI. Take the Avenger, for example. So if you're filling a bottle from 0 to a pressure, for the long time of that filling cycle, it's not driving like red line, right? So imagine if you drove your car and you went to work, but your throttle is either right to the floorboard or no throttle at all. You're going to wear your car out, right? You're going to tear it up. Like if you're running your RPMs into the red at every time you push the throttle, how long is your motor going to last? Really? It's not going to last. It's not going to do well. It's like when the dragsters are super fast, super super fast, high performance. But they got to rebuild the motor. After every couple runs?
Why are you looking at me?
Yeah, looking at Sue. Yeah, tell me about it. All right, so I mentioned that if you have a compressor and its max is 4,500, and you're only ever running it from like 3,500 to 4,500, and you're pushing it, every time you run the thing, you're running it max, and you're running it for the entire run cycle at its max capacity. That is going to eventually wear it out. It's just the natural case of things. So having stuff that can either be like user rebuildable, which is like super important, and I have no idea about this if it's user rebuildable. I like the idea of the Ready Air, and we are in the process of redoing power and lighting and all kinds of stuff at the range. We'll be able to use these little compressors right next to the bench. So cool. I've been wanting to do that for years. We'll be able to do it. Hopefully by end of day tomorrow, we should have that set up. So I'm like, we may actually go live tomorrow night just to test the lighting and maybe do an ATN at night. I don't know. We'll see. But we've got some cool stuff happening this week besides all of next week because we're still working out the kinks. I like the Ready Air because in 15 minutes I can take it apart, put all new bits back on it, and put it back together, and it's working. I don't know what they're charging for the rebuild kits now. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't looked them up in a while. But the idea that it's not hard, that really if you just take your time, you replace the piston rings, you're replacing the O-rings, and literally in 15 minutes, you go from non-functional to functional, which is awesome. Yes?
David would like to know, he said, hey buddy, how are you? I bought the Umarex Trevox
Okay.
for hunting pigeon or little birds at little range. Can you give me a better pistol or air guns? Well,
Yeah.
I think he said pistol air guns.
Yeah, so I know the gun you're talking about. I think I have one. I think the Trevox. Can you put me back to picture in picture with the computer, please?
The picture being the computer
computer
being
big, me little.
Sure.
I think one of the things I want to do here, as I'm going through this, I probably want a monitor here.
Yeah.
And then have dual monitor out, so I can be looking at this and you can pull it up and do it. So I'm not having to rely. I got a big screen behind the camera, which is great. In fact, now, you know what? I can actually go get that big monitor now that I've been wanting. I want a bigger 4K because it's going to be much nicer to look at. My eyes.
Easier on your eyes, yeah.
Anyway, this is 32, and I'm 7-8 feet away, so it's a little bit tough to try and read text. So we'll go to Umarex. Okay, yes, I know this. I wasn't sure. There's two that I'm thinking of. One was a multi-pump, and one was the brake barrel. I do know this gun. Let's see. I do not want to show notifications. Stop. Oh my gosh. Please, for the love of God, no. All right. Pigeons, little birds. Budget. Do you have budget? Type it in there. Obviously, this is a sub $100 gun. You probably got sub $100 performance. You know what? Maybe the little Beeman. Oh, what is that one? Hold on. We're going to go to Pyramid Air. This show is probably going to go long, guys, just as a hint, just as a thing. So Beeman pistol. Oh, my. Please stop. This one here, the 2077. All right, so this, if you don't mind getting a hand pump maybe, and I know we're like double the money, this gun, but I don't want to make Chrome faster. Thank you. It's fast enough. Diana Chaser is another one. Here it is. So you can do, all right, so this is all in. It looks like this is an all-in kit from Buckrail. All right, so this is the Beeman 2077. Can you get it in 22? You can. So that little rig, I actually have this in 177. It's a little CO2, little PCP. You can hand pump it super easy, and That is cool. Microcarbine, super fun. The other option would be like no-toast would be like out of the gate good too, which is an Umarex product. I really like the no-toast. It's not great as a pistol. And I'm going PCP here because if you're going to hunt something, the springers and other stuff probably is not going to do very well. So this is the no-toast carbine. I like this a ton, like a ton. And for 20 bucks, you can get the pistol grip and sights. This is great. It's regulated. You get 30 shots, good power, like 20 foot-pounds, like legitimate hunting, drop it in one shot stuff. We have collared doves out here. I've hunted them on occasion. They're tougher than they look. I mean, if you don't like perfect headshot, you wing them or stuff, they'll suffer. You sometimes can't penetrate the wing and the feathers to get into the meat and take them out. Last thing I want to do is take a shot, it not be a great shot, and the poor animal suffering. I don't want to do that, so I want to make sure I put them down. If you have to go spring gun, there is one I would recommend. Where's my here? It would be a RW Diana. What is it? Okay, it's expensive. All right, sorry.
He wanted something other than a carbine, however you say
Carbine,
that.
no carbine. All right, so
he's got a good budget. He paid, he's in France. He paid 130 euros.
then I would look for like the LP8. I have one of these too somewhere. That's a nice gun. It is good power, break barrel, German made. This is a really good gun. It's pricey for a pistol. For a break barrel pistol, it's pricey. But I would go like this. Pure pistol, the other option, maybe like the hot, I wouldn't go the Bandit. These are low power stuff. That's a good gun. The Bandits and the Chasers, those are all Chinese made. The LP8 is German. The other one, maybe the Jet.
In case he didn't see that as you went so quickly through it, it was the LP8.
Sorry, LP8. Yes, I was very fast. I apologize. The other option is the Jet.
Ideas on FPS?
Oh gosh, you know I've done a video on it. Where's my website? Let me search my videos for. There.
There it is.
This is this one. I think I've done a few. There's other Diana stuff. All right, so right here, this LP8 is the most recent one. This is the one I would look at. Super nice pistol.
And that was on AirgunWeb.
That's on my YouTube page. Just see if I can scrub through it. It'll give me some numbers on the screen. Gosh, I remember that setup. That's before we closed the range in.
Seems
I
like
think this might have been the LP8 that had the stock conversion. I probably said it in the video. I don't see text on the screen, so I apologize, but you'll have to watch the video. But there's that one. Yeah, the tactical carbine really read my mind. I love carbines. They're super light, super small. They're my favorite form factor. I just did a video on the Brocock Ranger XR. I love that gun. I hadn't touched it in a year, pulled it out, the daggum thing. It was still holding air and shot like a dream. Haven't not touched it. I love that. When that works and that happens, I'm like, yeah, that does it for me. So this would be like the pistol. This is a 177. I put a pistol scope on it. Gosh, that's an old studio, yes?
Any update on the McCavity Arms MA2 production models? The pre-production models I've been shooting, the pre-production model I've been shooting is an awesome gun.
Okay, hold on. I didn't hear the last you said. You gotta speak up.
The pre-production model I've been shooting is an awesome gun.
Yeah, okay. I'll get to that in a moment. It looks like 177 for some change foot-pounds, 500 feet per second. That's with the 177. So that's what I got some 9 years ago when I did this. Yeah, 9 years ago.
Wow.
That was shot in our garage.
Havasu.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That was a
remember
nice
that.
studio. God, that's Rick 300. I'm fat now, but I was really fat then. That's great. Oh, that's my wife likes that. That's Rick 300. That's when I was close to 300 pounds. Yeah. It's like a whole other person, literally.
Moving on.
Move along. All right, so we get that. That's a great shot. Let's move. Let's go back to the channel page. Let's look at the channel. That's better. Ta-da. Okay. Woo. Yes. Let's. Okay. What? Any other questions?
Not that I've seen so far. They're chatting amongst themselves.
They do that. It's fine.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's fine. All right. So we were talking about. I was going to do one more vendor, or one more supporter, sponsor, participant, whatever you want to call it, and it happens to be Gammo. Yay! All right. So Gammo is a major sponsor, and I think it was G-Man that dropped the bomb a couple weeks ago when we had it about Gammo and Daisy acquiring Crossman, Benjamin, and Centerpoint. I had a nice conversation with my contact at Gammo. Hello, Vice President, Mr. Guy, who takes good care of me. And he confirmed it and said, I told you we had a bunch of cool things going on. So I'm curious how this is going to change for me, because I've been wanting to get my hands on a lot of Crossman stuff and work with their products. And I may now have that opportunity, because Gammo has been a wonderful sponsor and supporter of AirgunWeb, Gateway Airguns, just everything we're doing, and also Airgun Expo. They are all in, and I really appreciate it. So some of the guns we'll be looking at from them, we're going to be shooting the Gammo Arrow. I've got the Arrow Classic. I've got the Arrow in 22 and 177. I've got the Arrow Classic in 22. I did shoot for an upcoming, it's sort of one of the pre-rolls, pre-recorded videos in between the lives. I've got some footage. I shot the Gammo Coyote 177, and son of a gun, that's a nice shooting gun. So we're probably going to do a live, with the Coyote 177 and 22. The other gun we're going to have to shoot is going to be the new, this is the Viper. We may or may not shoot that one, but we definitely want to get, where is it? We're going to shoot this one. All right, so this is the Gammo Hunter Extreme Ultimate, so 25 cal, just a sweet air gun. And we should have had on here the, we didn't. Okay, so the other gun we're going to do for sure is the Swarm Magnum Pro Gen 3i, and I may get to the CFX. I think I'm going to do the CFX as like a separate, because that's like a love of mine, that gun, that underlever break barrel Gammo is a gun I've always really loved, and I may want to just spend more time on that. So we'll see how that goes. Now, let's take a break here, and let's jump back over to the Cometa. Need to have pictures. Let's go back over here. So the Cometa, we did a video a little while back where we unboxed it.
He's going to scroll fast.
Just to get to the we'll get to the McCavity in a minute. Don't let me forget the McCavity thing.
McCavity.
Here it is. Here's the Cometa. Oh,
that's the one I shot, right?
This is the one you shot. All right, so here's the Cometa. This is your traditional wood and steel, just straight break barrel. Really nice trigger. I was very impressed with the trigger. Very distinct first, second stage. It's super nice. This is a spring gun, not a gas ram. I prefer a spring gun. Why? There's so much you can do in tuning this you can't do with a Springer. So you can make this an absolute cream puff. I think it shoots great right now. I would take this out and go small game hunting today with this gun. We were shooting at 30 yards and getting quarter-sized groups with no break-in, just shooting, and it shot great. Question?
No, I'm just going to move that down a little so
cool.
They can see the whole
gun. All right,
gun.
so let's look. We'll look at some of these pictures here. If you guys have questions, let me know. This video I did shoot, even though this, by the way, Keystone Airguns sent this out. If you look up Cometa on my channel, I'm pretty sure that you're going to find the live we did on it. And we talked about it, and also like the unboxing. So we've got the unboxing here. where we go through it all. You can find out about Keystone Airguns there, okay? So check them out. I don't know what their inventory looks like right now because it's been a while since we've talked about it. But anyway, check it out. Maybe you can, if you're interested, see what they got sitting on the shelves. It's got a short barrel. I mean, it just shoots really well, and the velocity was good. Go through all of that in the video. I won't give that away. You guys can watch it. Again, traditional wood and steel. The barrel lockup on this, I talk about this, yes?
Oh, never mind. Carry on.
The barrel lockup on this is super sturdy. So in a brake barrel, if your barrel joint isn't right, forget it. The gun's junk, right? And it is the weak point. There's whole guys have made, I won't say made a living, but they did well just selling silly, well, not silly. They sold brass inserts for the Crossman guns because Crossman went to plastic in there and it wear out and it wouldn't lock up tight. So gentlemen made brass, they fit right in there. And boy, once you had those, it was like, ugh, it was good, pretty cool. But this gun locks up really well. Like when it's shut, it's shut and there's no movement. So that is really cool. I'm using an Axion scope primarily because I'm waiting for my Hawk scopes to come in and I don't have any 1-inch tubes that would fit on the gun. Now, the one thing about mounting the scope, I won't go into all the detail here. There was not a trick, not a problem, but something to consider. That's going to be in the video. We'll talk about that in the video. You guys can watch that. Just a super nice gun. I'm going to just kind of squidge through these photos here. That's a wife word. Yes?
I'm not quite sure if Heath's question is to you or to someone in the chat, but he said, how does it rate compared to the HW Beeman brake barrels?
Okay, yeah, all right.
I'm guessing that's for this.
All right, it's not an HW. It's close. I mean, it is the closest I've shot to an HW not being an HW. Price point is, I'm trying to remember what the price point was, between 200 and 300-ish, maybe a little, I don't know. It's in that range. It's very close. I mean, the HWs have the record trigger, and I have a Beeman R9. It's not a Beeman R9, but it is superior to all of the stuff you're going to buy domestically that I've seen. I like the Gammo guns. It's on par with the special, if we go over here to Gammo, we go over here and we look at their exclusives. So we have our exclusives here. All right, so the Ultimate, right? The Ultimate is wood, steel, no plastic breach, none of that stuff. It's it's the way they used to make them, all right? That gun, it's very much on par with that. Is it a Beeman R9 or HW95? No, not in my opinion. It's close. It's close. Is it a Walther LGV? No, but neither is a Beeman R9. Gosh, I need to pull out some guns. I need to have one of the episodes. I say one of the episodes we need to do is maybe a guns you can't buy anymore. Because I have a bunch of those.
You need an episode of Rick pulling out guns out of his Connex.
It's scary. I mean, just the sheer volume is it's got to be a couple hundred easy.
Oh, at least.
Easy.
Yeah.
Please come out to the expo. There might be a sale. Just saying.
That would be awesome.
Just saying. All right, so we'll work our way through the rest of these here. All right, so this is a group I shot on the Piggy at 30 yards. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty good. 177, we were shooting JTS pellets. There's your Piggy, and then there we go. That's a different gun. That's the gun we're going to talk about when we get down to JTS. Oh my gosh, there's so many more things to talk about. Yes.
Would a Hudson air-tacked 177 be more lethal to armadillo pests than the 22 cal? The 25 caliber won't kill them.
The air-tack, I don't know what he's talking about. Hudson, what's the name of the thing?
Hudson air-tacked. Air-tacked.
Okay. Oh, this, no. You need, this is a Okay, well, let's talk about reality. Okay, nowhere near enough power. You need a 25 cal PCP pushing 35, 40 foot-pounds if you want to take them out reliably. And you can talk to Airgun Angie about this. She shoots armadillos. They tear up her yard like crazy. One of her favorite things is to have a gun ready to go, an armadillo come in her yard and her dispatch it from this present life. She really enjoys that. You need a lot more energy. This is maybe, this is not what you want. This is maybe 16, 17 foot-pounds, maybe 20. Okay, so yeah, maybe 20 foot-pounds. You need a lot more. Just need a lot more. I would not try this. And you probably want, if you're going to go, if you went with a break barrel, I tell you the gun you could use if you want to go with a hot sign, the 125 sniper, the 130, the 135, put it back up, would you? Sorry. You could go with the 135 corner bore. That'll do it. I'd get that in 35 or in 30 caliber. That will smack the ever-living crap out of them. That's 30 plus foot-pounds. And a big old hunkin' pellet. That, and if you shoot like polymags or something with a point, you're going to penetrate you're going to put all of that energy is going to go right in a tiny little point. It's going to break through. It's going to expand in the cavity. It's going to be nasty. That'll do it. That is a miserable gun to cock and shoot, however. It is beastly. So you need a gym membership along with this to get the job done, or just a PCP, a basic PCP pushing 30 plus, and you're done. You're good to go. Yes, Sue.
Have you seen the latest BSA brake barrels from AOA?
No, I haven't seen them. I know Angie's been working with them. BSA is a division of Gammo. One of my conversations I've had with them is it's very probable, I hope, probable that I'm going to be doing some work with the BSA products, because that's something I've been really passionate about personally, but it's been tough to get them. I only have so much budget and time to work on it, but I hope to get the BSA stuff. I have some great BSA brake barrels in my Conics. There was a window where BSA was transitioning what they were doing, and they had a lot of extra inventory. And I almost signed the dotted line to acquire all of that and be a BSA distributor back when I owned Airgun Pro Shop. But the dollar figure was pretty high, like $60K, and the payback was pretty quick, which I just didn't see us being able to do, given what we were acquiring. Great for them, would have been terrible for me. So I didn't do it, but I did buy a bunch of sample products to look at. So I have all of those, which I have some really nice 25. I have really nice super sports and stuff. Really nice guns. Yes, Sue.
Heath would love to see you compare the BSA GRT to the traditional spring BSA Lightning.
Okay.
Lightning.
Sure. No, I know exactly what he's talking about. The GRT is your gas ram. It's your inert gas ram thing. I'm a metal spring guy. I wish I still had the PowerPoint that Walther put together when they did their LGV, because they made the LGV from the ground up. And they had this whole presentation. It was wonderful. It was everything I felt in my gut about spring versus gas ram and how to build the proper springer. Now, the gun was $800 for a brake barrel. Yeah, that's a lot of dough. So, needless to say, they're not making it anymore. Okay, not that I'm aware of. Anyway, so that gun, they built it right. And they actually looked at a gas ram, and they opted for the gas spring. They found that the lock time, okay, so the whole benefit of a gas ram is a shorter shooting cycle, less recoil. They actually found that the difference between the gas spring and the gas ram, or excuse me, the metal spring gas ram, was negligible, margin of error. Just almost couldn't measure it. The gas ram was slightly faster, slightly. The recoil was much worse. the impact of that gas ram, because of the way it works, it's just instant, and it actually recoils harder. The coil spring, because it kind of does this, it's gentler, and it actually, because the lock time wasn't really relevant, they went with a spring. It was easier to shoot, easier to maintain, better. It was just nicer, and I find that to be the case. I would love to do that comparison. I have a GRT BSA, and I might have a Super Sport in a spring. I'll have to look, but I'm pretty sure I have both, and that would be a fun video. It'd be something fun to do. One of the cool things I'm hoping to do as we go forward, if everything works out like I hope to down at the range, we'll be able to do some of this stuff live. We'll be able to just do it. We just go down and with no video editing, no video production to take weeks to edit and then publish. We just go down and do it. I think that would be like cool.
Super cool.
So we have like an Airgun TV show and just go do it and then be done with it. That's what I'm hoping to do. And that would make life a lot easier, get more content out, fun stuff. You guys hopefully enjoy it. Let me know if you think that's a cool idea. We'll try to do it. Yes, hon.
Don't forget the McCavity. You're supposed to go back to
I will go back to McCavity now before we go back to the list of things. Actually, tell you what, I'm going to go by this list. I got JTS and then McCavity anyway.
Okay.
Switch
back?
Yeah, we do. Sure.
Too late.
Yeah. Okay. So I have from JTS, I have the 177, 22, and 30 and 25 in the Airgun Max. I don't know what of those we're going to be shooting during the event. Definitely the 30 probably, and probably definitely the 177. The 177 is a cream puff. It's not a power gun. I do have a video coming out on that. I have an unboxing, and then I have a shooting video coming out on that during the show. The unboxing, I don't know. I think both are coming out. We'll see when they land. But we have, just so you guys have an idea, how many pieces of content we'll have next week. It'll be between 40 and 50 pieces of content. So you're talking about 20 hours of Airgun stuff, maybe, in that sphere. So a lot. So be ready to watch some Airgun stuff. And then we've got the new Airgun Braun. I don't know if you guys have seen that. I did not know about it. It was something that Airgun Depot reached out to me about doing an article on. Let me pull it up here. It's very neat looking. It has its typical bullpup problems, which I go into. And I have a video, shot a video on this already. I love the way the gauge work because it flips depending on which side of the gun you wanted. I think that's cool. It's a regulated PCP bullpup at $500. It shoots nice. The one thing they keep getting wrong, and I haven't met, well, that's not true. There's a gun that actually it's on this list that did it correctly as far as I'm concerned. This rail is too short. It's too short. Look how tall that cheek rest is. I don't care how tall your scope mounts are. I had to use a riser plus high rings to get it where the scope was comfortable for me. Airgun companies, please listen. If you're going to make a bullpup, try shooting it before you make it. Just a tip. Maybe actually put a scope on it, see if you can see through it. Because a scope on this with rings, I can't see through the damn scope. So it's way too low. I come out like a cripple after I shot this gun. I get a little animated about this because, oh my God. I had another example. This is a long time ago. Crossman made a pump-up gun. It's kind of a cool gun. All right, so when you closed the handle, you don't want the handle just flop open, right? So it had two little niblets that held it in place. Well, here's the thing. They put the niblets right where you squeeze the damn pumping handle. So you go to pump the gun, can't get the handle off because you grip it, and now you're closing the niblets worse. Somebody should have used it before making it and selling it. I'm just saying. A little product testing beforehand is going to be good. Anyway, the gun shoots nice. I think it'll be a really nice gun if you're into that. Just expect that you're going to need to put maybe a riser and high rings. I think it'd be super easy for them to have different size scope rails so that, because it's just 4 screws holding that on, right? It's not one big piece. They could do higher pieces. So depending on what you wanted, you could make it work. So I think that's a cool thing. I don't have any pictures of this to share with you right now. So we've got that from JTS. Now to the McCavity question. The other gun I wanted to talk about was McCavity. So double. So McCavity arms, my discussions with them, they're telling me that they're expecting to have the production gun shipping. And should we pull up our stuff on them?
Yes, you should. Not
Let's
there.
do that. Let's
There
do
you
that. Does it be here?
No, it'll be under. Oh well, you could if.
And it's going to take way too long. Isn't it?
No, it's. I think
Oh.
it's coming up two
That's
from
right. So we go here, and that's the wrong page,
there.
right?
Wrong website. That one.
Oh, you put it like I thought that was my. Okay, I apologize. I'm looking at the
Virtual
wrong site.
floor.
Yes, ma'am. I can't get to it from
Enter
there though.
Airgun
Do you know
Expo.
why? I can from here.
You can from there, McCavity.
Okay. I was going to click on the logo on the page. It doesn't work yet.
It should.
On the home page, it does.
The rotating. Oh, because it's on the wrong page. Oh, you were at the other page.
Yes. Okay.
so-
Anyway,
Sorry.
we're moving on. Moving along. All right. This gun I'm very excited about. I've shot the 22 and I've shot the 30. I haven't shot the 25 yet. I'm planning to do that before next week. These are wonderful guns. Very well put together. If these pre-productions are if they reflect what we're going to get in the production guns, I'm super pumped. These are just really nice. They're light. I think they look good. They shoot well. The trigger's nice. The whole layout of the gun is nice. The action's nice. Everything about it that I've shot so far, I'm very, very impressed with it. We have it, again, in 3 calibers, 22, 25, and 30. We have the 22 short, 25 long, and I don't know, the 30 I'm guessing is a long. Power output is right there with the JTS. We have another 30 we're going to be demoing, which if you want power, that's the one you want, okay? This is very nice, 50 yard, probably. We haven't shot this far. For the event, we've got targets out to 100 yards. We'll be shooting steel targets. They're going to be our NRA silhouette targets. So we have like the chicken, the turkey, the pig, and the ram. We'll have those 25, 50, 75, and 100. So we'll be able to shoot all those, which will be a lot of fun. So that's what we're going to be shooting mostly at the event. And I have another target, which I haven't put together yet. I'll do that this week. It'll be a surprise target. Okay. So as far as production availability, June is what I'm told. I really hope they hit it because there's a lot of people that are looking for this gun, and I really think it's going to do very well. If it holds up well and it continues to shoot well, it's going to be a winner, and the price point is exceptional. So how they are able to build that and make any money, I do not know, but awesome. All right, so that's all of the things I wanted to talk about today. I had some pictures of the McCavity. Here is our JTS 177. Here it is. All right, so here's the McCavity. The video we've got on this is actually with us shooting the ATN through HDMI, which was really fun. That's the 177. So McCavity. Just to get to, all right, so this is what I was getting. I'm trying to remember how far I was shooting. It's probably 30 yards, just because we're getting an idea of how the gun's working, first shots and all. But that's it. We had, here's the HDMI capture. We were running the True Ballistics chronograph, which we're going to talk quite a bit about that this next week. But that ain't bad. I'll take that. That's certainly minute of coyote eyeball, right? And 70 foot-pounds, right in that range. So more than enough energy for such things. So I would take a headshot on a coyote. I don't know if I'd go for a body shot with only 70 foot-pounds. When we get to the next 30 cal, I'd take a body shot in a short minute. Let's go over, did you get New England's page done for him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's worked hard at this. There's only reason if there's pages that aren't up yet, it's my fault, because I haven't finished giving her the information. All right, so New England Airgun, we're going to be promoting for them the Viper 30. Super awesome pistol. I really like it. It's expensive. Nice things are. Look, I guess one of the topics we should have, maybe we'll do this one of the nights. I'm not going to get into it heavy now. Gosh, we're already past an hour. We'll get into it heavy now, but we'll talk about it. Maybe one of the wraps. A hobby costs money.
Yep.
This is one of my hobby computers, right? I have work computers that are tools, right? and I have play computers that are hobby computers. All right. My hobby side of computing, I always want the latest, greatest, bestest, even though it makes no freaking difference, really. Because it's new, I want it. Okay. Not a performance thing so much. It's just, it's newer, it's better than what I have, therefore I must go get it. That's the hobby mind. Then there's the tool mind. That computer my wife's on, I hope it's going to sit there on my desk for the next 4 years and me not have to touch it. It's a tool, it does its job. Yeah, I don't need to upgrade it. I don't need to, if it stops doing what I need it to do, then I'll think about swapping it out. That's a tool. People buy airguns the same way. They might buy airguns for a tool. I've got a squirrel problem. I want to kill the squirrels. Squirrels are dead. I'm done with my airgun. No problem. Tool. Don't go spend $2,000 on a gun, $1,000 on a compressor and a tank, and unless you just got money to throw, and then let me give you the name of some friends so that you can buy it from. But realistically, you got that new, one of the guns we have coming in is the new Umarex Complete nitrogen gun. It's $200. Put a cartridge in it. You have the power of a PCP, what's the right word? Not flexibility, it's easy. Convenience, there we go. Power of PCP, words are hard. Convenience of CO2 without the drawbacks of CO2 in a sub $200 airgun. Okay. I mean, cost per shot, all right. If you're a PCP airgunner hobbyist, probably not the gun for you. So don't poo-poo the product because it's not for you. It's just not for you, okay? It's a great product for someone who only has ever known about brake barrels and has been afraid to get into a pressurized gun because they don't want to buy a pump, don't want to buy the compressor, don't know how to deal with any of that stuff. It takes all of that off the table, and they just have a gun that works, just like the Hammerly 850 or the 850 M2. Favorite guns of mine. They use the big CO2 cartridge. Awesome guns. Love them, right? They're just not powerful enough to really take hunting. All right, so you buy a gun as a tool. You got a squirrel, got a rabbit, got a pest problem. Fine, done. You're done with it, but you don't need it anymore. You buy an airgun for the hobby, and then you're a guy like me. I want the chronograph. I want the digital rangefinder. I want the better chronograph. Oh, now I want the True Ballistics chronograph, and I get this airgun, and then I want the next one, and then I need a new scope. That's the hobby side of things. Okay, two different mindsets.
I need a new bench to go with all of this.
Actually, I do need a new bench, so we're going to talk about that a whole nother time. I got to build a new bench. Anyway, the hobby side of airgunning is different than the tool, I have a problem, need to solve it side of airgunning. They're different. Both sides are okay. There's not one that's better than the other. It depends on the person, right? Anyway, so back to the Viper 30. It's expensive. This is a hobbyist gun. It's not a tool. It's a hobby gun. As a hobby gun, I completely understand the cost. As a guy who's tried to manufacture things in the past, it's very expensive to bring anything to market. And it's not just the cost of materials. It's the engineering. It's the machine time. It's all the mistakes you made figuring it out in the first place. Then it's the shipping. Then it's the distribution. Then it's the insurance. Let me tell you what, a 1250 on the small runs they're doing with these, actually, I don't know if it's 1250. That's another product. Around 1,000 to 1,200, whatever it costs, $1,000, $1,100. There's a reason it costs that much. It is a wonderfully nice shooting gun that's very, very well made with good materials. I do like it quite a bit. So we'll be talking about that. The next thing. What?
Cruder says you can tell you're a hobbyist if you're constantly trying to find space for crap.
Oh, God, yes.
Buying more conics.
Yes, fly. Oh, I hit him but didn't kill him. I guess I can't kill a fly. Anyway, tried. This is the Hubin. Is this the HK one? Yes. No, excuse me, the K1. Okay, this we had sent out to us a couple years ago. This is back in the show, 25 cal. I talked about this recently on a live. We were doing some testing. We were testing things out. Somebody asked me what my favorite air gun was. Right now, it's going to be this gun. It's just awesome. So we're going to be shooting this gun for sure. You can pick up the Hubins at New England Airgun. They are just beyond awesome. we'll talk about that gun. I've done videos on it. We do more. Very, very awesome. Now, the other thing we got in is the Hubin pistol. Now, there's voodoo magic in here that defies the laws of physics. I don't know what they're doing, right? I put some pellets through it. I thought it was 19 shots per fill. No, it's got a 19-shot magazine. There's a power adjuster. You can get over 100 shots out of that if you want. You just don't get a lot of power. Or you turn the power up and you get a magazine out of it. I cannot wait to play with this gun and show you guys what this thing can do. I'm super excited. So we have that, and that is here to stay, and that's going to be something we're going to be working with going forward. So I'm super excited to show you guys the Hubin pistol. I am not, I'm thinking about a live. It'll be an extended live. We'll probably do it the last day, so we just have plenty of time. Get all the other stuff. This is something I want to do. Pet project Rick has. I want to demo and talk about airgun lethality. Like, people are touting this as a self-defense airgun. Please hear me. Hear me, hear me, hear me. Airguns are not for self-defense. There's so many layers to that I'm not going to talk about now. Airguns are not for self-defense. And that's my personal opinion. I think it's a very good opinion. It's mine, why not? I think it's a very good opinion and very, very important one. There is, beyond the case of energy, which is a big part of it, it's the reliability. You do not want to be betting your life on something that's going to run out of air. You go to pick it up, it goes click. Then all you got's a club. Right? It's just, when you're talking about self-defense, personal defense, you need to be thinking lethal, not less than. That's my opinion. Now, in certain states, like John, we'll probably have John on to talk about this. In certain states like Mass, where he's at, you don't want lethal. You want less than, because even if you're justified, you're still going to lose your job, lose your house, lose your car, maybe lose your spouse, and you're going to be in jail for a year and a half, even if you're found innocent. So that's just not anything you want to touch with a 10-foot pole. So it is people promoting air guns as self-defense are doing so irresponsibly. There are some, if you have no other option, there are some that I think have some viability, but only with like a mountain of caveats. And the biggest one is reliability. You better check it over and over and over and over and regularly, and know how to use it and know how to operate. It's no different than a firearm or any other thing you're going to rely on to save your life and the life of your loved ones. You better, by God, know how to use it. In the worst situation possible, you better know how to use it, or you're just wasting your time. It's a false sense of hope, false sense of security. It's not good. All right, moving on. Other last bits here we have Predator Pellets, awesome sponsors of the show. Did we put anything up for them?
Yes.
We do. Awesome. I know you've been talking to Joe. Hi, Joe. All right. So we've got some, all right, the Hades. Oh, the monsters. I think he sent me some of these. We'll have to shoot these. I was shooting something the other day that needed heavier pellets, and these would be beautiful. What?
Keith keeps hard grits on the stove for self-defense.
Damn, that would do. That's like pouring lava on somebody. That would work. There you go. I don't know if we got any of these. That's kind of cool. I hope we got some. I've got another box from them sitting out there. I haven't opened up yet. So we've got some pellets, some new pellets to talk about from them. We'll probably do a live studio segment for Predator Pellets, just to say thank you for all that they do for us, because they support AirgunWeb and they also support the expo. So it's super nice, and I appreciate those guys. SWA, that's sort of my company. So yes, I will have a presence there. For everyone that's been asking about the SWA shotguns, there's no page yet because I haven't got my wife the stuff. We do have
There's
some.
a page. There's just nothing
All right.
there.
So we do have some 15s in stock. I got to get her pictures. We are going to do at least a segment, and after the expo, I have a bunch of work I want to show with these guns. I think they're very awesome. They put out a lot of power in a small package, and I think they are quite awesome. But that's me. Tuxing is another sponsor. They're a Chinese compressor company. I've got this in the shop. I can't run it on my solar. The lock rotor amps on this just crush my inverter. Now I had a 5,000 watt inverter that I bought I bought a budget one. It didn't last a year, so yeah, I'm back to my 3,000. My 3,000 runs my other compressors just fine, and I just can't right now justify another $1,000 on an inverter to run this compressor. So it works good. There's a lot of features about this I really like. We'll probably probably talk about it. I don't know that we'll run it, although I might, because I could kick on the generator, but I'm trying to get that generator out. I don't want to have to run a generator at the range anymore. So this is a really cool compressor. The lock rotor amps are just really tight. I love the dual condensing towers. This is what we're going to be filling all our stuff with, all our bottles with at the show. They sent me this. I'm familiar with these compressors. They're awesome. They have a four-stroke single cylinder gas motor. They do have a variant, which is this one, but I'm waiting for the conversion kit that makes it auto shut off, which is not something I've seen in the gas compressors before. I've seen the relief valve. Okay, go shut the motor off and then bleed it and you're set. But they actually have a version now that is auto shut off, which is cool. Like I said, I'm waiting for the rest of the parts of the conversion. Hopefully we can get those in at some point, and then we'll do a video on that. So I've got that. So thank you to Tuxing for sending this out. This was not a cheap compressor. The auto stop version is about $1,900. This version's about $16. So it's the price of a cage compressor over at Air Venturi. This fills at almost 4 cubic feet per minute. I think it's 3.7. It'll fill your bottle, top your bottle off. Last time I checked one of these, it would fill from 3,000 to 4,500 in about 7 minutes, and that's a large 9-liter, 98 cubic foot bottle. So very, very quick. Awesome if you're running a small field or something. This is what this is designed for, which is what we have and what we're going to use it for. So it's perfect. Umarex. Okay, let's get over to the Umarex page. Again, if you want to see any of this stuff, you just go to our website and you can click on it. You can contact the manufacturers and you can get with them. We're going to have the complete. It was shipped today. I'm supposed to have it. Hopefully, it's got to be here by Friday. Or even if I get it next week, we'll still be able to get it in. It looks like to me that they took like their CO2 gun and tuned it up to take a nitrogen tank. And the nitro air concept is great. I've kind of known about this for a while. I've kind of known that this was in the mindset of the people that were kind of thinking about it, because I know they were trying to think of how can we bring compressors or a simple way to fill guns to market. Guess what? You can't do it because it's never cheap enough. And if you get them cheap enough, then they're not durable enough. So it's just a problem. This was the best way that I could see for them to bring something to market that put a PCP-like performance or a PCP performance in somebody's hands without the headache of the PCP filling necessity. Is it expensive? Yeah, to fill. I mean, it's cost per shot's 25 cents just for the air. Okay? Can't not see that, right? But it's also not for you and me hobbyists that have PCPs and tanks and gear. And it's not for us. It's not for us. Guys, think of all the people that don't take air guns seriously because they've never shot a PCP because it's too expensive for them to shoot, because they don't want to buy the compressor. They're afraid of the high pressure air. They don't want to buy a tank. They don't want any of that headache. They want the power, performance, flexibility, but they don't want the headache of all the gear going to use it. This is going, I believe, this is going to get a lot of people that have been afraid of PCP like air guns. It's going to get a lot of people into the airgun market, which is only going to be good for us. Don't poo-poo the product because it doesn't fit you, okay? If it's a crappy product, then we'll deal with that. But I don't think that's the case. I think it shoots just fine. I know Angie, I think, posted a video on one because she got a chance to shoot one when she went to Arkansas. I think it shoots just fine. It's going to have decent consistency, decent power. It's going to fit the niche, whatever. It's going to fit that small segment of people, actually the much larger segment of people than we are, that have been afraid to get into the sport because they don't want to break barrel because they're inaccurate. They don't, and I'm saying that with air quotes if you guys are listening to this on a podcast. They don't want that because it's not accurate, quote unquote. They don't want CO2 because it's temperature, all these temperature problems. They want power, they want accuracy, they want ease of use, which is what a PCP gives you. But they don't want the cost to have to feed it air. Well, this is self-contained. I get it. It's going to be expensive to feed this air to shoot it, but this would be one of those guns that I put in the toolbox, right, in the tool space, that somebody has to take rabbits and squirrels out of the yard. I bet you this thing would be sweet. Be absolutely sweet. Anyway, it's not for the guy who's shooting 500 rounds in the afternoon. Not at all. You would have bought a compressor by the time you finished that. So not that. The other thing we're going to do, I was hoping to get a Zealous. They didn't have one available. They are going to send me one, so we will be getting this gun in. Thank you guys for suggesting this. It's just not going to be now. We'll do a video on that when we get it in. I don't have a hammer carbine coming. The other gun that's not on this page that I'm going to be shooting because I absolutely freaking love it, it is the Gauntlet 2 SL30. I did a video, it's going to be coming out next week, shooting 30 cal slugs. Let me just tell you, you guys wanted to know, you put me back full screen. You guys wanted to know if they had changed the way the gun works in loading the slugs. Short answer is yes. The thing loads and operates like butter. It is awesome. I shot a bunch of slugs and all of them were viable. I was shocked. The best out of the bunch were, I think, the JSBs. Was it the JSBs? I don't remember. They were all so good, but I think I got like 3 in a hole like that. I was only shooting at 30 yards because that's where I do most of my testing before I start stretching it out. If I have a bunch of stuff to test, I'll test it close. The bad ones I know are bad. They're not going to get any better, right? If it shoots like garbage at 20 yards, it's going to be better at 50. So I shoot them close to get an idea of what could work, and then we'll shoot them further. We're going to be shooting that gun, and I cannot wait to show you guys what slugs do out of this thing. Man, God, they hit so freaking hard. It is awesome. I love that gun so much. They've done a great job with it. Just tweak the trigger, get the trigger where you want it. I have a video. Did I do a video on that? I know I've done a video, like the video I did on adjusting the bar trigger, same trigger by the way. You can do it, same, it works on the Gauntlet. So I don't remember if I did a video on that or not. We certainly could. Super nice gun. We're going to be shooting that. We will get to their other guns eventually. Lastly, but certainly not least, let's switch back over. Utah Airguns are supporting the event. They're also wonderful supporters of Gateway to Airguns, and we're in talks with AirgunWeb as well. So hopefully we're going to have some really cool stuff from these guys. Now it's Utah and FX. So do you have a separate page for FX?
I do, but it's
it just goes to them. You have a logo that goes to the Utah page.
Yeah, I don't remember. Right?
Yeah, because I don't see a page for it. All right. So we have two different.
I have a logo that goes to the page.
Yeah, we have two different brands we'll be working with Utah Airguns. First of all, you're going to see the True Ballistics Crony. Gosh, if that's not on this, I did pull up.
It's not.
Okay. We should add that. I know they didn't ask to, but let's get that added to this page because it's too awesome.
The True Ballistics Crony.
Yeah, it's just too awesome not to have it here. The True Ballistics Crony is it's just really cool. So we're going to talk a lot about that next week. Where it's going to be on the table. It's going to be working hard. It's rechargeable. It's great. No more 9-volt batteries. No more swapping batteries out of the little hanging down pocket one. It's awesome. So it only has two drawbacks that I've found so far. One, the auto shut off is annoying. I mean, like really annoying. And it needs to, like another 5 minutes. If I had like maybe even another 2 minutes, it wouldn't be shutting off. By the time I go do something, change a target, load my mag, the dang thing shut itself off. And I got it. It's just frustrating. They need to give it more time before the auto shut off. That's my 2 cents on that. I can work around it, no big deal, but I wish they would. And lastly, it doesn't like small projectiles going slowly. So 177 at 400 or 500 feet per second struggles to track them. Even 22s going slow struggles to track them. I have a video coming out tomorrow on the Barra 1866. It says take 2. I forgot to shoot the Crossman Premieres when I did the video of the 22 cal barrel. So I do it again. This time I shoot Premieres, GTOs, and the wad cutters. That's coming out tomorrow. And I tried using the thing. It just doesn't, things moving slow, it doesn't work real good. So if it's fast, like 600 and up, golden. A little slower, it struggles. So that's just the one little caveat I found. Maybe there's a software update or something that'll happen that'll make that work better. That's the one downside I've had so far, besides the auto shut off.
Do you want me to full screen you or carrying on with?
I'm going to go through these guns we have here on the page.
Okay.
We will be shooting my Impact Mark III. I have it in 35 cal. I don't know if I'll set it up for, I think I'll shoot it for pellets. I'll get it set up for pellets and shot count just because it's so fun to shoot. That gun is awesome.
Did you say 35?
35, yeah. Beastly. Beastly slamming awesomeness. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It is super quiet. And you can go from 70 foot-pounds to 150. It's just this huge, wide range, just super easy to adjust. It's just, well, let me put it this way. I don't know if it's easy. It's easy to adjust, but it does take time because it's got 2 regs on it, so you got to balance them. We're not going to get into that. That was like a whole video I did on that gun, but it's super nice. And then I have a Wildcat we're going to be shooting. And I don't have the DRS. I hope to get one at some point to take off what Angie's been doing on that one. And then I've got, down here I have the Catron. The Catron is the gun, this is the standard, I have the long. So I have the long barrel version we'll be shooting. The Catron is, and I have the carbon fiber long. The Catron is a gun that kind of got me looking at AR black guns over classic guns. I shot it and I really liked it. So this gun has moved me into like other guns that I really like. Anyway, that is that. So we'll have the Catron 25, Wildcat 22, and Impact 35. That is the basic rundown, and that is, let's see, that's a bunch. I don't even want to count them. I still have to figure out when each is showing on what day, given the pre-rolls we've done and everything else, or the pre-records. You can switch me back full screen. Yeah, we've got a lot to do still yet to finish things off. I know this has been like a hella long show, hour and a half. Woo! For all those guys and gals that stuck with us, my wife being one of the gals, sticking with us on this, thank you. Appreciate it. We will... yeah, we're going to go and work our butts off to get ready for next week. And then next week is going to be such a cool, fun Airgun week. I hope you guys, I know you'll probably be working and other things, so come visit us live when you can. If you're in the area, come visit in person if you can, and when we republish it. So don't worry about it. You won't miss a thing that way. We'll have it republished and out. And we'll have, hopefully, if it all works, I mean, we've got to still work out a couple technical difficulties. If it all works well, we still will have the Facebook videos going in simulcast with our Vimeo that's shown on our website. It won't be the same footage, but at least you guys can be part of it. So maybe you can sneak Facebook at your desk in a window and can watch it while you're working. Maybe.
And maybe I can convince you to do...
Speak up, I can't hear you.
And maybe I can convince you to do an evening...
I think that would be awesome. Maybe we'll, depending on what the weather's like, maybe we'll go down there, do a live, do the wrap, and then reset and do a thing. We'll see. We have plenty of flexibility. We're going to have kind of a skeleton crew this year. So a lot of work, me and Sue and my daughter, and hopefully gentlemen from JTS will be out. And if any other folks want to come out and help out and have some fun for the week, we got a campground we just opened up. So yeah, there you go. Well, I didn't. Our ministry did. So don't need another job.
No.
That's going to be it for now, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Sue, thank you for doing all this fun stuff. We're working out the details of how this is going to all work. This works very well. I've got a few bugs I want to fix. I'd love to have like a screen here and then output to you. So I think, and I could set things up and then have you switch to it. I think that's the way to go here. Anyway, so I'm happy and excited that we are where we are at and going forward. So again, that's gonna be it. My name's Rick here with AirgunWeb. Thank you guys. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our viewers. If you want to help support what we're doing, Patreon page and Officers Club over at Airgun Army. Both are avenues through which you can support us. And there's actually a donut. What am I thinking? I'm thinking dessert and hungry. I just got to put the Rick 300 picture. Anytime I think about donuts, put the Rick 300 picture. I'll forget about donuts real fast. There's a donation button for donuts. And no, there's a donation button on the gta.org website if you want to go there. And you guys, there's folks send us some cash through that, and it helps cover stuff that we're doing. So we appreciate it. You support us multiple different ways, and we appreciate your support. Best thing you can do is just watch us, like, subscribe, hit the button, all that kind of stuff, hit the notification bell. That in and of itself is a big help. So we appreciate you guys. All right, we're going to wrap it up. You guys, we'll see you probably tomorrow when we're doing some more live testing. You guys have a great night. See ya. Just wait for me to wave. wait for the lag.
But I stopped that first, right?
Yeah, you stop that one first. Yep. You just hit end. Yeah. Bye, guys.